Yes, good afternoon, all of you. This is Syed Tahir from Department of Electrical Engineering, Anjuman College of Engineering and Technology, Nagpur. So right now we are going for the subject that is power system practice. First of all, we should know the weightage. What is the weightage of power system in GATE subject? It is taking some time to open it. So this is the topic versus weightage in marks when we are going for the GATE examination. You see that 11.8% is network and signal and systems are 8.5, then electrical machine 8.3, then coming with power system that is 9.8%. So it is a good subject to prepare and score your marks in GATE. So right now we are going directly to jump on the topic that is power generation concept. We all know actually what do you mean by power generation, and power generation is actually done by three things, that is the main components are generation, transmission and distribution. But when we are coming for the generation systems, it's again come that is thermal energy, hydropower, and nuclear. It is further classified as renewable and non-renewable energy resources. In one thing, we are going to say that there's a thermal, then nuclear power plant, and then the remaining we are going for that is solar, wind power, and the rest are geothermal, hydrothermal. There are different type of generation concept. But in the main concept of power generation system, we are going to know about the generating system, transmission, and distribution. So here the type of the generation has been given, that is conventional type and non-conventional type. When we are going for the type of the generation, that is thermal, hydro, steam, nuclear, diesel, gas, etc. When we are going for the thermal hydro station, that is a coal power generated. Actually, the main fuel used for the generation of the steam is coal. What do you mean by actually thermal power station? And what is the main concept of the power station when we are going to say about it? Actually, fuel which has been used for generating the steam, in that concept, we are going to see it as a thermal, hydro, steam, nuclear, diesel. In every concept, we are preparing steam. First of all, we should see this uh, layout diagram, and we are going to see about the generation, LPT, IPT, intermediate, high pressure turbine, boiler, and boiler fast feeder, then superheater. Actually, main concept is to heat this boiler dome and create a steam through which we can rotate this turbine, that is high pressure turbine, intermediate turbine, and low pressure turbine. Then afterward, the generation has been done with the 11 kV, and then distribution is a different thing. So first of all, we are going to conventional about the conventional type, that is a thermal, hydro, steam, nuclear, diesel, gas, and etc. In India, we have an abundant source of coal. We rank third in world. First is USA, then second is Russia, then coming to it, India, And then conventional for the non-conventional type, it is solar. Actually, solar nowadays very important thing, and India is also signing a content that we are going to be a solar for solar in 2050. Most of the energy will be generated from solar. So there are various projects going on in India, that is Rajasthan. All the borders with the Pakistan is in right now being converting to the generating station. That is with the help of the solar power. Then coming to the wind, tidal, biomass, and geothermal. And furthermore, so first of all, we are going for the generating station, that is a thermal power generating station. We had studied the principle of the Rankine cycle. So this is the systematic diagram. First of all, here are going to see about the different type of pressure turbine. That is high pressure turbine, low pressure turbine, sorry, intermediate power turbine, then low power turbine. Then this is the boiler. Actually, the main purpose of this thermal power plant or to burn the coal is to heat this boiler up and to create a pressure in it or to convert the water into steam and then into super steam, which is going to convert here, and that will be run on this turbine. With the help of that, the turbine is going to be run. There are three turbine connected. When the turbine is going to be rotate, the generator is also rotating with this turbine rotation. So the power will be generated, that is will be 11 kV. Then afterward we are going to see that the water is again condensed, and this is cooling tower. Nowadays this cooling tower has been used. Further we are using to cool the water with the help of external energy. But nowadays this type of cooling tower is being seen by your. Hello. Hello. Okay. So nowadays this type of cooling tower has been used. It is naturally cooled cooling tower which has been used nowadays is actually increase the efficiency of the thermal power plant. So this is the systematic diagram of thermal power plant we are going to see. Then we are going to be further. The calculation part will be done. The calculation part will be done later. Then coming for the hydro power plant, we had already seen the hydropower plant in which water is being stored in the reservoir. Then it is supplied with the penstock, and again the generator is been rotated with the help of the water, and again back to the river. And with the help of this rotation of the generation of the turbine, we get electricity. The main function of this power plant is to rotate this turbine. By this, any cause, when we are talking about the conventional source of energy, that is thermal, hydral, steam, nuclear, diesel, gas, or anything. In all these things, the main concept is to generate this, rotate this turbine in different matter. Let's suppose when we are talking about the thermal, with the help of thermal energy, we are going to produce steam, and with the steam, we are going to generate this generator. In which coming for the tidal, again for the hydel energy, that is water is used to generate the turbine. Then again coming for the steam, again the water is used for rotating the turbine in case of the nuclear energy. And when we are talking about the nuclear energy, actually we think that nuclear energy is used for generation of the power. Actually, it is used as a fuel to create a steam. So nuclear energy is used to generate the power, that is thermal power, which is used to heat the water, and then again it is converted into steam, then again it is converted to super steam, then again the turbine is connected, then again the turbine has been connected and the energy is generated. So in the diesel case, so as well as in the gas case, in this thing, the medium of this thermal, steam, nuclear and diesel is to create steam, or they act as a fuel for the steam to generate and to run the generator. So here we are seeing that the hydropower plant. So here it is at the definition, the generation station which utilize the potential energy of water at a high level for generation of electricity is known as a hydroelectric power station. So here the word potential energy of water at a high level for the generation of electric energy is very important, because water should be at high level, as the water from the lower level is not able to rotate that turbine in the speed or unable to generate electricity from that power. So the potential energy should be higher. So we can see in the reservoir the line of potential it is having, and then again the lower potential the river is running. So the potential energy of a water at a higher level for generation of electric energy is known as a hydroelectric power generation. The concept is the same, that a dam has been built on the river, then water has been here, reservoir has been made, then water has been saved here, then afterward a penstock has been made where it flow from the generator, and the generator has been rotated, and that rotation of the generator cut the flux and the EMF is generated, and that electricity is being furtherly transferred. So here the construction of a hydroelectric power station, the systematic diagram of hydro power plant. And the further next we are going to jump on the nuclear one, that is nuclear power generating station. As I told you that nuclear energy is the generating station in which nuclear energy is converted into electrical energy is known as a nuclear power station. So again we are going to see this working model of a nuclear power plant. It is a nuclear reactor. Then coming for the heat exchanger, again it is written as a steam. So in heat exchanger, this nuclear heat is been exchanged with water, and this water is been converted. The water is converted in form of, the water is converted in form of steam, and that steam is pressurized on the turbine to rotate, and that rotation of the turbine is rotated with the generator, and then the electricity is generated, and then again it has been transferred from transformer, from isolator, different type of system. But this water which has been heated is not wasted, it is actually then condensed, or sometimes we actually this use this raw water and feed with additional water, because there is a losses of water in the system. So again water has been fed, then again to the heat exchanger, same process has been working on, as same process in thermal, same in case of the nuclear, and same we are going to see in the diesel and gas point, where the gas or diesel is going to be burned and heat has been exchanged for the heat exchanger, where the water is been going to convert in the form of steam, and then in the form of the steam again it is going for the valve, and pressurize on the turbine will be rotate, and that with the help of the turbine, the generator is going to be rotate. And when the generator is going to be rotate, the electricity EMF will be cut, and for this uh, cut of this EMF, then again electricity is being generated. So the main systematic diagram of a nuclear power plant is also been explained by. So in this system, we are not having the solar wind model right now. So we are going to directly jump on the next slide. So here we are going for the symmetrical and unsymmetrical fault. Everybody know about the this kind of fault, symmetrical and asymmetrical fault. When we are talking about the different type of faults, there are symmetrical and asymmetrical fault. Then again, we had already discussed. Introduction has been done. Given that that is generator, transformer, and transmission line. The fault which is rise due to symmetrical fault known as unsymmetrical fault. It makes system unbalanced. Because of that, system is going to be unbalanced. अगर हम लोग fault की बात करें, let's suppose when we are talking about the fault, what kind of thinking in your mind has been going on? So when we are talking about the fault, there is a outage of power in your area. So this happened because of the symmetrical and unsymmetrical fault. Symmetrical fault means there is a fault in every section. Asymmetrical fault, we are considering that is single line to ground fault, line to line fault, and double line to ground fault. What do you actually mean by the single line to ground fault? Most of the time we have seen that there is a one wire, transmission wire or distribution wire. It has been broken because of maybe there is some different kind of reason is there. It is broken and it's directly touched to the ground. At that time, we are going to say that it is a single line to ground fault. Okay, this is the one example for the single line to ground fault. Here you have seen, this is one of the example for the single line to ground fault. That is single line to ground fault. You will be able to see that this is a transmission line. and one wire has been broken down, and that wire touches the ground. So this kind of system can be happened in the normal day-to-day life system. Not only in transmission line, it can be also happen in distribution line, also in house uses also. Sometimes you have seen that there is a failure of power in your home also, where you can see that the wire has been cut from somewhere and it is directly touched to the ground system. So this kind of the system actually we are considered for the single line to the ground fault, and it at your maximum. When we are talking about the maximum limit, the maximum fault occur in the transmission and distribution system is single line to ground fault. This is the maximum fault that's occurred. Actually, in most of the area, this uh, kind of the fault has been there. Then coming for the line to line fault, you had also seen that line to line fault. So here is the line to line fault. We can see that the one line is directly shorted with the other line. Uh, so this system come under the line to line fault. This is not so normal thing, but it's happened. It is less common to single line to ground fault because line to ground fault is maximum time the this kind of fault has been occur. Next was the line to line fault that has been explained. That is less common, but it's happened also. Then coming for the double line to ground fault. These things also happen. Double line to ground fault. Well, this line, both of the line has been shorted, and then it is connected to the ground. I can show you one of the example for that thing. Here you are able to see that this is a three line, that is A, B, and C, and B and C line is connected, while again it is also a grounded line. So this kind of fault has been there in the asymmetrical fault, and this is actually happens. So we had gone with different type of fault, that is single line to ground fault, line to line fault, and line double line to ground fault. This is the fault analysis, and we are talking a balanced fault. All the three line is been short circuited and connected to the ground. Means all the three lines have the same problem. So this is a balanced fault, not in the single line. Means let's suppose if there is a fault in line A, line B, and line C, then this kind of fault is called as a balance fault or three phase to ground. All the phases are short circuited with some reason, and then again it is connected to the ground with any support of the thing. And then unbalanced fault, it is very less than, that is less than 5%. And balanced fault, which has been studied, that is line to ground fault, that is, I already told you that it is maximum time this case happened, that is 60 to 75%. Then double line to ground fault, that is 15 to 20%, and line to line fault, that is 15 to 5%. So actually, this is the occurrence of the fault. At what frequency, at what time, or sorry, how many times that fault occur. So you can see that the balanced fault, that is line to line, and then against to the ground fault, this happens very rare. That is less than 5%. And when we are coming for the single line to ground fault, that is 60 to 75% is the maximum uh, fault. At that time the fault can be occur, that is 60 to 75%. Then coming for the double line to ground fault, again it is 15 to 25%, means it is less, but it is that it can be happened. And then line to line fault, this is 5 to 15%. So this kind of thing happens when sometimes it's rain or there is a damage in the wire, or sometimes most of the time this three phase to ground system occur when some other tree or this kind of collapse on the system. At that time, all the wire has been short circuited, and then tree is already grounded. Then again, it is grounded with the help of that. In the case of the rainy season, but more occurrence of the time is single line to ground fault. And in case of the double line fault, when we are talking about the double line fault, you have seen that a crow or a bird is sitting on the one of the line, and when it is opening its arm, uh, indirectly it actually does the second phase. At that time, two line is been connected, and that is called as a line to line fault. So it is 15 to 25% of some monkey sitting, maybe in some any case a bird or anything has been working sitting on that line, and in case it's actually touched to the second line, and that can fault can be occur. Then coming to the symmetrically component. When we are talking about the symmetrical and asymmetrical, symmetrical means it is in phase. One of the most common example for the symmetrical is that when we are seeing a military parade, the synchronism of the hand of the soldier in that parade is actually a symmetrical component. The system has been phased of one angle. Let's suppose of one phase is at phase angle between the three phases are symmetrical, so it will be 120 degree. The phase angle between a fan, so it is a symmetrical, not a fan is having a three blade. One is having an angle of 45, again second is having an angle of 60, and third is having an angle of 70. It cannot be because we are having a 360 degree, one single rotation. So we can say that it is having a 120 degree apart from each other. So it is a symmetrical component. One example, but in case of asymmetrical system, it is not in phase. Means it is one of having 120 degree, other is having 150, and the rest is having the rest of the value. So in case of the symmetrical component, there is an unbalanced symmetrical power system and power system analyzed. Cannot be analyzed using per phase as in load analyze of the symmetrical power. Symmetrical component needed to be used. Symmetrical, just I have already had told you that the symmetrical have the same balance system or same balance phase value, and that is the similar symmetrical system. One of the symmetrical component is shown that the I1, I2, and I3 is having a phase angle of 120 degree. That is I1 is apart from 120 degree. Again I2 is apart from I3 is again 120 degree. And then I3 is apart from I1 to the 120 degree. That is the convention. The direction of the clock, direction of rotation of the phases take by the counterclockwise direction. So when we are going to see about the angle of the I1, that is 0 degree, again then with the help of the 120 degree, and again with 240 degree, or you can consider it as a minus 120 degree. And in case of the zero sequence, when we are talking about the zero sequence, all the three currents are in a phase. Matlab, it's not having a phase difference of 120 degree. All the align with the same phases. So this is symmetrical component. We had already seen that negative sequence and zero sequence. Zero sequence means that all the three currents are in phase, that is I1 is equals to I2 and I2 equals to I3. But in case of the negative system, that is I1 is a phase degree of I2, then I2 again it is phase degree of 120 with I3, and again I3 is phase degree of 240 with I1, or maybe minus 120 degree. So this is a symmetrical component. Then analysis of symmetrical fault using the bus impedance matrices. So prediction of transmission line. So overall, we had been study about the different kind of the symmetrical and asymmetrical fault. One again, we are going to discuss about the symmetrical and asymmetrical. It is in phase or it is out of phase. Then we had already introduction has been done with different kind of transmission, distribution, and different things. Then symmetrical fault, that is line to a single line to ground fault, line to line fault, double line to ground fault. Then we had already studied about the analysis of the fault. Then coming and then again symmetrical component also been studied, that the symmetrical component, what are the this thing. Then we had also just studied the negative sequence and the zero sequence. So all this thing right now done. Then coming again for the protection of the transmission line. Actually, what do you mean by the transmission line is a very important question. See, what do you actually mean by the transmission line? Uh, we know that we had generated 11 kV, and actually that generation is depend upon also current. We know that in case we increase the current, the size of the conductor is also increase. So when we are talking about the transmission line, when we are generating 11 kV, again we are going to step up that voltage from 11 kV to high. Then again we are going to transmit it at. So transmission is done with the step up transformer. And why this generating system is actually situated in the remote area? It may be having some reason. It's not having some that kind of a logical thing. It's normally as an economically thing. We know that in the generating station it require more lands. Also, there are some government laws that you cannot pollute the cities. So it is a simple logic that you have to generate from the out where the load is being connected. So it is the generating station are away from the load. We can also take an example of the right now Nagpur, but the generating station is actually situated in Chandrapur, Koradi, and Khaparkheda. It is not nearby Nagpur. It is away from a load distribution. So we require the transmission system also to transmit that generating system to transmit that energy which is being generated from generating station to the load center. So we require a transmission system, but it will be going to be lost if we are going to transmit 11 kV. So we are going to use the step up transformer. Um, we know that working of the step up transformer, it is actually a step up. So in case it is an 11 kV system, it is going to increase the voltage up to 120 or up to further. So when we are going to increase the size, increase the voltage, so we know that V is directly proportional to by Ohm's law. When voltage is being increased, the current is being decreased. So the size of the conductor will be reduced. So for the transmission, load and generating station are different, far away from each other. So transmission lines used. Um, First of all, we are going to step up the power from 11 kV to 66 kV, then again from 66 kV to 220 kV. Then further it has been transmitted, and then afterward it is again going to step down, where we are using the step down transformer, that is from 220 kV to 66 kV and 66 kV to 333 kV. When we can actually give the power also in 330 kV in industries, in industrial or heavy industries, we are using 330 kV. Um, at that time, we directly provide the 330 kV or 11 kV, that is again stepped down from 33 kV to the 11 kV to industrial. Then again, it is come in the domestic distribution type. Then again, it is going to the distribution type. It's coming for the 440 volts or 240 volts. So this is the actually main concept of the transmission line. We're going to discuss this transmission line also in that detail in some lecture. First of all, we are going to discuss about the distance protection, that is protection of a transformer line. So it is a very important thing, as we know that the transmission line is very important as it's a midpoint between generating and the load center. When we are going to transmit the energy from the generating station to the load station, we require transmission lines. As the length of the electric transmission line is generally long enough and it's run through open atmosphere, the probability of occurring fault in electric power transmission line is much higher than that of transformer alternator. As you know that the transformer alternator is situated in a indoor station or also, but it is actually situated in a closed environment. But when we are going to about the see about the transmission line, it is situated in the open area. Lightning can be happens or anything, or tree can be fallen beside that thing, or any coincidence can be happen at that time. So protection of the transmission line is actually very important. As we know that because generating station is not so much close to the load station can directly provide the energy to the load, so we require transmission line. That's why transmission line required much more protective scheme than a transformer and alternator. Now coming for the features of the protection and transmission line. During fault, the only circuit breaker close to the fault point should be tripped. As we know that we have different types of relays and circuit breaker. So the working of the relay is to sense whether the whether the current flowing is in the limit area or it exceeds the value. If it exceeds the value, it gives the command. It's actually a circuit which is connected to the relays and circuit breaker both other thing in a main closed diagram. When we are going to see about the relay, it is just a sensing element that sense whether the required amount of current or value, it has been required value or it has been above in the value. If anything above the required value, it is going to trip the command. If it is going to the trip the give the command for the trip circuit, the main working of the closing that circuit is of circuit breaker. Circuit breaker actually work of circuit breakers like to make a circuit or break a circuit. A circuit which is used to make or break a circuit is called as a circuit breaker. Normally component in a we actually use in transmission line, distribution lines. Also we are using generating station also. Circuit breakers are different type, oil immerse type, and air type. There are different type of circuit breaker. If the circuit breaker cross the faulty points, fault to trip, the circuit breaker just next to the breaker will trip. Actually, when we are talking about the protection, we are not just reliable on the circuit breaker. We are also using the plan A, plan B, and plan C scheme. Suppose this does not work. It's like a plan A, plan B, and plan C. If plan A will not be going to work, then what we are going to be next? Then we will going to shift on plan B. Then again, if what happened if plan B is not working, then it will going to be work on the plan C. So this kind of the protection scheme has been there, where protection has been provided in plan A, plan B, and plan C scheme. If let's suppose, actually in most ideal condition, we are considering that the circuit breaker next to the fault point should be tripped. Means that if fault is at point A, then A point circuit breaker should be tripped. But in some case, it don't happen. At that time, that point B should be tripped, or at that time, the point C should be tripped. So that the fault should not go beyond that area. It's also depend upon, let's suppose a fault occur. The circuit breaker should be tripping very fast, otherwise it's going to be harm other equipment which has been connected in the circuit also. So the operating time of relay associated with the protection of the line should be minimum as possible in order to prevent unnecessary tripping of circuit breaker associated with other healthy part of the power system. तो एक पॉइंट हमारा यहाँ पे ये है कि operating time of the relay should be very less. If let's suppose operating time of the relay is not less, then what's going to be happen? If a fault occur at the point A, the operating time of the relay should be very less. So the relay will not trip in faulty condition. So this is one of the feature. Second, if the circuit breakers, जो point already हम लोगों ने discuss किया कि जो भी faulty point है, what will be the faulty point? The circuit breaker to the next should be tripped. Means if there is a fault in A region circuit breaker should be tripped. If there is a fault in region B, then circuit breaker of B region should be tripped. And again, if there is a fault in region C, then C region circuit breaker should be tripped. Then further, the main method of transmission line is time gradient, over gradient protection, current gradient protection, distance protection, differential protection, and carrier current protection. We are going to study all these things. When we are talking about the time gradient over current protection, it is actually deal with time and over current protection. Then we are talking about current gradient, current protection, distance protection, differential protection, and carrier protection. Now protection of radial feeder, it is actually a single one directional protection. If the fault is flowing from A to B, it is going to be trapped. If the fault is not flowing from A to B or maybe in opposite direction, it is not going to be. The type of feeder can easily protected by using either definite time relay or inverse time relay. Definite time relay and inverse time relay is very important thing, and we actually use that kind of feeder in the day-to-day life. When we are talking about the definite time relay and inverse time relay, and let's suppose a fault has been occurred, the circuit breaker actually required some time to trip that time, or a 5 second time has been there adjusted that. And let's suppose, and this is also be done because of the surges coming in the circuit. In some time, a surge has been there by closing a circuit. Let's suppose a motor has been connected in the circuit, or heavy load has been connected in the circuit. At that time, a surge has been created. Let's suppose a surge has been created. So what's going to be happen? It is traveling in the line, and if a circuit breaker is going to be operate, the circuit will not be live. It will be in the dead portion. So our time has been given at that time. So that at definite time, and after that time, let's suppose in 2 seconds, 3 seconds, or 5 seconds, the circuit breaker or relay will be going to be work until it is not going to be work. Or inverse time relay, if the current is very high, if the let's suppose a current of 5 at that time, the relay will not trip at 5 seconds. And let's suppose a current exceed to the 10, the relay is going again inverse to 2.5. Again, if the current will be exceed to 10, again the timing will be decreased. So that is an inverse time relay where that increase in current, the time again will be in decrease. So this is the line protection by the definite time relay. Here is the operating time. Here is the operating time, that is 2 second, 1.5 second, 1 second, and 0.5 second. So here is the distance and here is the operating time. So here is the fault, it should be operated at 0.5 second. Then again coming for the C. Why this difference time has been provided? Let's suppose the point fault is time has been set is again 0.5, 0.5, 0.5, 0.5. At the time of the fault, all the circuit breaker will be going to be operated. So we are one of the feature is that if the fault occur in this region, it should be the circuit breaker D should be operate. If the fault is going to be occur in this region, then a C should be operate. If the fault is occurred in this region, B should be operate. If the um, fault occur in the region in this region, A should be occur. But in this case, if the same time has been given that the fault has been occur in this region, it will not going to take. They all is having the same time, zero point 0.5, zero point 0.5. They are going to be trip because this one is tripping at zero point 0.5. This one will be thinking that is not going to be trip or there is a some lag in the time. So there is a difference in time. So definite time relay. If the fault is been occur, it will take zero point 0.5 second to be tripped. If in zero point 0.5 second if in zero point 0.5 second it is not going to trip, then again the C circuit breaker will be going to trip. That is 1 second. If again it is not going to trip, then the B circuit breaker will be going to trip. That is in 1.5 second. Again, if it's not all the three is not in the working condition, then again so the circuit breaker A will be going to trip. So this is actually like a protecting wall. If this has not been working, then this is going to working. This is not going to be working, then this is going to work. So this is a firearm protection system that if one is not working, then second will be working. Second is not working, then third will be working. Third is not working, then fourth will be working. So this is a line differential time protection system. But at the time of the definite, so when we are going to discuss about the advantages and disadvantages, it is simple. Second, during fault, only nearest circuit breaker toward the source from fault point will operate to isolate the specific position. Because when we are going to see that the B D has been given set up with time 0 0.5 and C is set with 1 second, B is set with 1.5 second, and A is set with 2 seconds. At that time, we are going to see that if there is a no difference, then all the circuit breaker will going to be operate. So working is simple and it is and the feature we want that if in this portion so this should be operated, this has been achieved. Then disadvantage, if the number of section in the line is quite large, the time setting of relay nearest to the source would be very long. So during any fault near to the source will take much time to be isolated. This may cause server destructive effect on the system. Yeah, when we are talking about the heavy fault, if let's suppose this here a fault has been occur of heavy current, so then what is going to be? It is going to take 1.5 second to tip. But at that time, this fault can travel to C. Again, it is going to take 1 second. This fault can travel up to B, and this fault can travel up to C. These are the disadvantage for the differential time wave. Then coming for the overcurrent line protection by inverse relay. So these are the relay and this is the operating time. If this fault is been occur and it will be working. Overcurrent अगर करंट जो है वो अगर ओवर एक्सीड होता है उतना ही टाइम जो है वो उसका रिड्यूस हो जाएगा. Then coming to overcurrent protection of parallel feeder. So this is both bias relay. Means here if current is coming from this direction or current is coming from this direction, the circuit breaker is working for both the thing. And here when your current is receiving coming from this direction only, not from this direction. So we had already studied the protection of the transmission line, that is differential distance protection. We have studied different type of circuit breaker here. We had also studied the features of all the things. Still there is any queries or anything, you can message me or directly. We are going to take a wait for 5 minutes. Still someone asks any questions regarding any. So here one question has been asked from Aftab. How is inverse is better than differential relay? Actually, again, we are going for the same slide. Here the disadvantage is that if the number of the section of the line is quite large, the time setting of relay nearest to the source would be very long. So during any fault nearest to the source will take much time to be isolated. This may cause several destructive features on the system. Now let's suppose this is a circuit fault occurs here and it is taking a time 0.5, 1 second, 1.5 second and 2 seconds. A fault current is high and this circuit breaker will going to operate at 0.5 second. This circuit breaker is going to point operate at 1 second and this circuit breaker 1.5 second and this circuit breaker for 2 seconds. At that time, what is going to be happen? At that time, this fault will going to be damage this circuit breaker also. This is going to damage these things also. This is going to damage this thing also. So in inverse, when the current has been increased, the time has been reduced. So at that time, if there is a further increase in the current, it's not going to take 5 seconds, it's going to trip in 2 seconds. So this is the mean the disadvantage here has been removed. That is going to be take much more time. So I hope you all understand all these things. Any other questions? So I think we should end this class right now. We are going to continue this later.